Nice to meet you all and great to be here presenting about Bitvavo and about the European crypto momentum. I think we are in a great time frame where there's a lot of opportunity for retail growth and institutional growth, and we're going to talk you through a number of slides on that to see what the near-term future looks like and how Bitvavo taps into that. So let's get started. Bitvavo is a spot exchange. We are built in Amsterdam, committed to Europe. We were founded in 2018. So we're just a 7-year-old company, and I think it's quite remarkable. I joined myself in 2021 as Chief Marketing and Growth Officer. And at the time we were still small, but if you look at where we are today, we process 130 billion euro denominated trading volume every year. So we're a big player with 2 million retail and institutional clients. We offer 400 euro pairs, available in 27 countries in Europe. Already pre-MiCAR, there was the registration era where we were already present in some geos. Recently, we obtained our MiCAR license, both as an exchange and as a custodian. An exchange license under MiCAR is quite rare. There's only 8 parties so far that have landed that exchange license. I will talk a bit more about that later. Our flagship retail product is the mobile application. We score a 4.7 star rating in the App Store. Yeah, and that brings us basically to the next slide. And here I want to kind of zoom out a little bit and look at the spot market in Europe. We did a research with an external company in 2023, looking at the global size of the Euro spot market and the importance of Europe. And what you can see here, I think the number 2 trillion is a big number, but it can of course swing up and down as the market enters up or down cycles. 2023 wasn't even a really good year. But I think the key point here is that 26% of spot volume resides in Europe. And I think as Europeans, we often do not realize how big of a player we are on the global stage. So zooming in, there's a lot of favorable dynamics that we see currently in the market. Most importantly, I think the regulatory clarity that we see nowadays with MiCAR, that provides a lot of opportunity for institutions to step into the market, corporate adoption, but also business to business to consumer, right? So players like banks, asset managers, and fintechs that also now want to offer crypto to their customer base. And that is an opportunity for Bitvavo, and I guess for many, because we think that a lot of that volume that will be driven by retail will lead to regional settlement demand. And Bitvavo is perfectly positioned there. I will talk a bit more about that. You can imagine that all these retail individuals, they prefer to trade in euros, and then the settlement requirement that comes from that can come to an exchange like Bitvavo with the volumes that we do. Then there's consolidation and scale. Already in the panel discussion before, we talked about the many players that left the market prior to MiCAR. So many players cannot carry the burden of MiCAR and all the regulatory and compliance requirements, and they have left the market in actually most recent last year. But we also see that now scale starts to matter, right? So the big players, they position now to grow even bigger, and Bitvavo is amongst them. And then mainstream enablement, with all these new players stepping in and offering their product to their retail base, we think accessibility is growing, and with growing accessibility, we also see that more retail players will step in, and so the whole pie, the whole trading environment and the investment environment around crypto, we think is about to grow a lot. So if you look at Bitvavo, I sometimes feel we're the best kept secret of Europe. We hold 50% in euro-denominated spot volume. 50%, that's 3 times as much as Kraken. Then you have Coinbase, Binance, Bitstamp, and OKX. Not all of these players have obtained their MiCAR license in terms of an exchange license. We have, and if you take these players and you put them in a comparison, I think this is where we believe that we will be a force majeure in the space serving institutions. So we are supervised in the Netherlands, so we obtained our license with the Dutch AFM, and we know this is very important for some institutions that the regulatory oversight is strong. It was said before, Germany has a strong regulator. I think Netherlands is also have a very strong regulator. We bank on our 50% spot share. We offer 400 pairs, which is still growing every week. Our liquidity, and you have to look at depth, of course, as well, which comes with the volume. But if you look at bid and ask, and we worked with a third-party provider here to establish this overview across the top 5 coins, we are less than 3 base points in spread. And then if you look at fees, I think we have the most competitive offer with 1 bips, 0.01% for any sort of flow above 100 million in the last 30 days. If you look at our competition, 8 bips, 3 bips, but then you need to trade a billion plus, and 1.5 bips. So I think a very competitive offer, and also very competitive in the context of settling directly in euros, not taking the risk of conversion to dollars, and the cost associated with that. Then, if we look at retail, as said earlier in the panel, retail is really entering the arena, and we call it crossing the chasm. This is the adoption life cycle. We see that we're now at 15% adoption. Actually, in Germany, it's around 14%. At Bitvavo, we did our own market research. We have researched in 8 geos in Europe what the adoption looks like, where people are trading, what their preferences are, and who else is entering the market, of what percentage still is considering to enter the market. We're now at 15%, and that is in the adoption life cycle on the verge of entering the early majority, which is the, let's say, that perfect storm that comes together, regulatory clarity, institutions stepping in, more retail being exposed and having access to crypto, and with that, a new large group of customers entering the crypto arena. So, some insights from our survey. Of course, we cannot share everything, but we still wanted to share some so that you can also base your own strategy on this. We asked people, how do you choose your retail, how do you choose your venue for trading or investing? And we forced them to rank what is most important. So this is a forced ranking. We asked 24 different aspects, and this is the top 3. So what is interesting here is that the most important aspect for people to choose a platform is that the platform offers transparency of fees and costs. So this is not low cost, this is transparency of fees and cost. For the people in this room, I can disclose that on number 4, cost comes in. So it didn't make the top 3. It's still important. Of course, it's important for customers to not overpay. But it's interesting that transparency here matters more than the cost itself for trading. And at Bitvavo, we implement transparency in every order flow. It is super clear what you pay. You pay a maximum of 25 base points to trade, as opposed to many brokers in the market, you pay at least 1%. Often also a spread on top. At Bitvavo, we also show the estimated spread, which is typically 1 bips on Bitcoin. So at max, you pay 25 pips as a retail customer. If you trade more, or if you place limit orders, the maximum price you pay is 15 bips. So we have a very cost competitive, but also very transparent offering in our application. Highly appreciated by our customers, and those customers that trade a lot tend to understand and tend to see that cost matters. It looks like small fractions, but if you trade a lot and you do a lot of volume, then this starts to really impact. Then accounts and fund protection. So I guess crypto is still new. Also for the people that are already in, they want to be absolutely certain that their funds are safe, both their crypto, but also the fiat funds. In Germany, we work with a regulated bank for fiat and deposit guarantee. We also have an account guarantee up to 100,000 euros for people that are being hacked or can prove to us that it was not them who emptied their wallet. Which is highly appreciated, but it's an ongoing effort and an ongoing investment to invest in security, to have the right people, and always be on top of our game there. A non-negotiable, also if you talk about stability and reliability, the third factor, platforms need to be up at all times. You do not want to have the platform offline when markets are up. They tend to swing up 20x. So you always have to be there. You need a stable and reliable platform. At Bitvavo, we have about 400 people working in our headquarters in Amsterdam. And most of them are developers. So we invest a lot in tech, in cybersecurity. We do everything to keep our platform safe, stable, and reliable. And as an exchange, we run a central limit order book for every trading pair. So you can imagine that requires a lot of investment in tech and to have a high-performing product there. Then another question to users, what features do you really want to see, or what do you expect from an exchange? Not in making your choice, but in already being there. Yeah, what they then say is speed is absolutely critical. And this is about speed of depositing and withdrawing euros, so fiat, and depositing and withdrawing crypto. And for the second, and this is native to crypto, blockchain integration and allowing people to deposit or withdraw their assets is absolutely critical. I think that will be a challenge for institutions that offer to their user base to buy and sell crypto. In the broker setup, it is possible to, of course, facilitate it, but typically you see that you can only buy and sell at the venue where you do your crypto buying. At Bitvavo, you can freely deposit or withdraw your crypto, and you can do it at speed. We invest a lot in blockchain integration and making sure it works really, really fast. Same for fiat. Once you have decided to step in, or once you have decided to step out, you want immediate settlement to your bank account. It's super frustrating if you think, now is the time I want to buy into crypto, and you have to wait for the fiat funds to arrive. So instant settlement, instant fiat transactions are critical. We're working very hard on that. We offer many payment methods, also PayPal, which is instant and very popular in Germany. So we're very aware of the importance of fast fiat processing and fast crypto processing, and we really steer on that and invest heavily into that. And then last but not least, and this is especially for Germany, there are some, like in general, you see between the 8 territories that we researched, there's a lot of overlap in what customers want. One that stood out for Germany specifically is number 3, return on investment and performance analytics tools. So Germans love to understand where they are compared to where they bought. Return on investment, portfolio aggregation. For Bitvavo, this also means we offer API integration for people to extract their data, work with a portfolio aggregator to understand their full suite of assets and performance. Then, last but not least, I mentioned it before, the 15% is already active. This is Germany in crypto, so they own crypto. Around about 10 million people in Germany. There's 70 million in total that are 18 plus. We also asked people, are they interested to enter crypto in the near to medium term? And 15% answered yes. So there's a 15%, which means 10 million retail customers that is about to enter the market on the back of this perfect, let's say, storm that we talked about before. What's also interesting is that the people that are already in crypto, another 10 million, that half of them are very likely or somewhat likely to switch provider. So in the existing 10 million customers that already work with the trading venue, about half of them are interested to switch to a new provider. And that together makes a 50 million retail opportunity. And I guess that's also why Bitvavo is so committed to Germany. It's a huge market. And it's a market where we think we have a really good product market fit. And that's why we are fully committed to Germany. If you look at our team, and this is not an AI photo, this is an actual photo of our team in Amsterdam. People ask me, how do you get people to, Dutch people to wear a German jersey? These are not Germans. This is an international crowd, so we have a global workforce based in Amsterdam. There's a lot of Germans on our team, of course. We are a sponsor of a partner of the Dutch National Football Association, the A-team. We did this annual photo on the canals to show our team size. And from this year onwards, we do this just before Queen's Day, first in the orange jersey, and then people take off their orange jersey. And from now on, we will do an annual photo showing the team in the German jersey. So you can see some orange here and there to kind of prove this is not an AI. We're fully committed to Germany. We are super excited about what the future brings. We want to take our fair share of that 50 million retail base that is there, and we're excited to do this, I guess, together with the industry, because there is a pie that is growing. There's so much opportunity there for direct-to-consumer, but also B2B, and we're happy to fuel that growth. So thank you very much. I guess that was my 20-minute sign. We're sponsoring the after drinks later this evening. You're all welcome to join, have a drink, contact us if you're interested to do business with us as an institution, as a partner for acquisition or marketing. We are here, and you can also find us downstairs in the booth. So happy to connect and happy to capture this opportunity together. Thank you very much.